What is event sponsorship? Why should anyone care about this? What is sponsorship and partnership just in general? When Maria and I first sat down to chat about her wanting to start this event, we went through everything from run of show, who to invite, who to reach out to, and I asked her about sponsorship. She was like, I can do that. I was like, yeah, of course you can. You have a product to sell, you have a product to promote, and your brand is valuable. So at the very base level, here are a few key elements for you of like why you should be selling not only your brand, your event, your podcast, your platform has a value.
Hey everybody, welcome to Finding the Upside. I am so happy you chose to join me today. Today I have a very special episode to share with you. I am queuing this up because what we are sharing today is back in June, you may have heard, I hosted an event here in New Jersey called the Revive and Thrive Empowerment Summit. And during that event, a very special guest, Steph DeLorenzis, who happens to be my niece, shared with the audience and the people who attended how to make the most of sponsorships and how to get sponsorships to support your business idea, your podcast, your show, your event, etc. This is something she knows about for the last 8 years. She has spent time working for a professional soccer team and heading up corporate sponsorships and suites. And that's all I'll say. You'll hear more from her and her experience. But this is a topic that so many people as entrepreneurs who are hosting events, who are launching podcasts, who might be running podcasts just like me, or starting a business adventure or starting a nonprofit or whatever the case may be, are looking for ways to get corporate sponsorship support. And this was an area that had eluded me. I had no idea how to do it. And for the event, I wanted to start getting my feet wet and being able to bring in corporate sponsors, not just for the event, but also for this podcast. And as you know, this podcast also streams on your home TV, and getting sponsors and ways to advertise and support and grow the platform even more. So during this presentation, Steph breaks down why you might want to get a sponsor and get sponsorships, and how to go about doing that, and what the method is behind doing so. So I hope you enjoy this episode. If you are listening, this is available to watch. Just go to the show notes and there'll be a link to be able to watch on my YouTube channel or on home TV, which is a free to viewer streaming service. And I hope that you enjoy this and that this brings you value on how to get sponsorships for your business venture. See you on the other side.
Hi, everyone. Right off the bat, I'm going to apologize for 3 things, which I know women should stop apologizing for, but really quickly. 1, my informality, because I'm sure it's probably a little bit off-putting with such a corporate topic. 2, my stiffness. I came out of retirement a few days ago playing soccer in a staff tournament. My body and my brain are not on the same page. And 3, the pace at which I speak. I am half Colombian, half Italian. We are not slow speakers. So if I need to slow down at any point, just raise your hand. Let me know. Give me a reality check. With that, as Maria said, hi, I'm Steph DeLorenzis. I'm the manager of premium partnerships and service for the New York Red Bulls for about 8 years now. I worked my way up from a part-time position in events and conferences up to a full-time role managing our premium, which, what does that mean? That means anything with food and beverage attached to it at Red Bull Arena. So any ticket that has a hard cost that comes with food and alcohol, I manage those spaces. And then my most recent promotion would be to a sales role. Anyone in sales here? Like actual sales, not just self-promotion? Yes? Okay. So as everyone, all of our lovely speakers and panelists have sort of touched on today, we're more than just our job titles. So here are a few things that don't fit on my business card. I am the proud child of an immigrant on my mother's side and first-generation American. I'm a woman in sports, which I am very proud to be. A multi-degree hospitality professional. So I have my culinary arts degree with a minor in baking and pastry. I also have my Bachelor of Science in hospitality management, tourism, and restaurant management. I'm also a daughter, a niece, and a friend. All right, so easy. What is event sponsorship? Why should anyone care about this? What is sponsorship and partnership just in general? When Maria and I first sat down to chat about her wanting to start this event, we went through everything from run of show, who to invite, who to reach out to, and I asked her about sponsorship. She was like, I can do that. I was like, yeah, of course you can. You have a product to sell, you have a product to promote, and your brand is valuable. So at the very base level, here are a few key elements for you of like why you should be selling not only your brand, your event, your podcast, your platform has a value. So what can you provide to potential sponsors, to potential partners? And there is a difference between the two. So you can be seeking financial support, you can be seeking brand exposure. You want to exist in playgrounds that you don't currently exist in. Playgrounds is a very Red Bull term, apologies for that. Conversations that you don't currently exist in, or conversations that you would bring value to your sponsors to exist in. And then you've got shared benefits. Say a brand that you already love. You have a common goal that they also share. How can that promote not only your business, but their business? So the difference between sponsorship and partnership. A partnership would imply that it's mutually beneficial. So you're receiving a service or a good or financial support in exchange for the same from another partner. So a good example of this would be you're bringing on a brand to promote your own brand. So say you sign a deal with, I work in sports, so I'm going immediately to merchandise. You sign a deal with Adidas. You're bringing Adidas value by wearing their product in all of your social media content, in all of your photos, and all of your match promotion and everything like that. And they're providing you value by, they're an international brand. So you're being seen in their international brand, and your brand is being seen on their international scale. So mutually beneficial there. And then a sponsorship would imply just a one-way street. So they're paying you because you're offering them just visibility. I think I'm triple clicking this. So we'll revisit this in just a bit, but here are some examples of how the big dogs do it. Businesses and corporations with established strategies around partnerships and sponsorships limit themselves to these styles of packages. So a little bit of tier A, B, and C. They go out to their brands. They're well known. This is what we offer. Here's the cost. And that's it. There's no conversation beyond that. So on the flip side would be being a lot more flexible and something that is encouraged in the sponsor and partner realm of, okay, well, if I come to you and you are one of the big dogs and you have these tiered packages, and I like the gold package, but I also like the silver package, there's no in between. There's no semi-gold or semi-silver. So being flexible in this space provides way more opportunity for you as a brand owner, as a business owner, as a brand promoter to then be able to sell your brand with a little bit of this, a little bit of that, and ultimately provide your product the best stage to perform on. A good example of this would be when Maria and I were talking about sponsorships for this event. Not only did she say, well, who am I going to ask, but what am I going to give them? And I told you, don't limit yourself to just exposure or just an ad read or just whatever. It's important to build your sponsorship packages around the needs of your client. So if you're going to a prospective client and saying, I noticed that community is really important to you. Well, here is how my brand can help you grow in that space. It's not in tier A, tier B, tier C. It's specific to your client. The next question was, who do I ask? So where do I start? I have a brand, I have a business to promote, I have an idea of what my product is and how it can bring value to my clients, to my prospective clients. Where do I go from there? Start with who you know, start with what you know. So what are the brands that you already interact with? What are the companies that you already engage with? Who do you already spend your money with? And then look around the room at who you already know. You're all here because you know Maria. It's a good starting and jump off point for just about any brand to, again, look around the room, who you know, everyone's connected. There's about 7 degrees of separation between everyone in the room, and that's where you begin. Oh. Next hardest question is deciding, what's my worth? What is my business worth? What's my time worth? Starting there. Share a quick little story of a not so fun interaction I had with a fan at a match a couple of years ago. I was very green. It was about my second year at the Red Bulls. And when people are coming to me, it means that there's an issue. And they're looking for a quick solution, and they're not necessarily going to be in the best mood. So I had a fan come up to me and say, I've been redirected 6 times. I spent a lot of money on these tickets. I can't find where my food is. I can't find where my alcohol is. Can't even find my seat. I've been told to come in through every single entrance in this arena. You're already losing me as a fan. A trained hospitality professional. I apologize for something that's not my fault. And I ask, how can I help? What can I do to make it better? And the words he said to me will never leave me, and I have spun them into a better story. But he said, I know what my time is worth. I would like you to pay me for my time that you've wasted. And I said, well, I can't do that, but I can help you find your seats. So I'll escort you to them right now. Got him out of my face. But then I started to think about it, and I was like, well, he has his own time. It's worth something to him. These seats were also worth something to him. How can I spend that in my business and helping other businesses understand their worth? Your time is worthy. Your time is expensive. So can you put a value to that and what you can bring to a brand by using your time on it? He was not very nice. The big jump, the pitch. So from here, actually Lisa earlier so accurately described a natural reaction we all have as humans, as leaders, as women. We want to do it all, and it's okay to say no. It's also okay to hear no. As a salesperson, I hear no probably 90% of my day. So part of that is when you're pitching a sponsorship, you've got your sponsorship package, you've got your identified clients that you want to go out to, you now know what your time is worth, what your brand is worth, and you're going for the pitch. From here, you're going to be comfortable with hearing the word no. It's really hard. Again, 8 years at the company, and I'm still not comfortable with hearing the word no, but I now know how to ask the follow-up question, what would have better suited your needs? So a reframe. Your job and your duty to your brand and to your time is to continuously chase your next best sale, your next best prospect, and your next best partnership that'll help elevate your business and your brand. Things that are important to the pitch. How are you presenting your product? Do you have testimonials? Everyone, I hope, gave Maria a testimonial. Case studies to help illustrate what exactly you're selling and why this is going to work for your client. We've arrived at the close. So again, you've decided what your time is worth, your brand is worth, you've approached countless individuals, you've heard the word no a bunch, and now you're on the edge of a yes. How are you going to do it? You're going to close the deal by building a rapport with who you're pitching, understanding their needs, understanding their brand. You've done your homework, and how you can both benefit from this partnership. You have to be flexible in order to understand everyone's needs. So not only your brands, but their brands. Believe in that. And then also remember that flexibility and a good, solid legal agreement will be your best friend in these journeys. Deliverables. So this one is a little bit harder. You've closed the deal. You're moving through what you've partnered with a brand on specifically, whether it's an event, a campaign, an ad read, an engagement of 3 to 6 to 9 months, and now you're looking to scale that business. Where do you go from there? So that's where these testimonials and all of the proof of performance is key in not only educating your client on what you've been doing to help promote their brand, but then putting that back as a bargaining chip. Okay, so here's how this last 6 months went. Here's how your brand was impacted. Here's how my business was impacted. And here's how we continue to grow together. From here, this will provide you with good leverage to continue the sponsorship and hopefully grow it from there. So whether that means more financial ability from their brand to yours, or it's goods and services. So, okay, we had a wonderful 6 months and it's not in the budget. We're rounding out on Q3. It's not in the budgets. We're starting our budgets for 2025 now. What exactly can we provide you with? Whether it's goods, services. For example, for an event, if they can't provide you with cash, perhaps they are a consumer brand product that can provide the mints, the water. They can sponsor a snack break, things like that. So all facets of the business. And again, that's part of being flexible and creative. Feedback. So understanding your clients' needs, again, on the back end. So you've concluded your partnership, you're looking for continued support through them, but you're also allowed to provide them with feedback of whether how they've interacted with you. If they were completely hands-off, I've had a lot of clients that are absolutely hands-off. And then I've had some that I've had to handhold through the entire process that are micromanaging the entire process. Provide feedback on that. And to make sure that when you continue your sponsorship, because you're going to continue the sponsorship, you're going to continue to close the deal, that you're providing them with how best to work together so that both of your brands, again, are benefiting from there. Go out and sell. Close the deals. You can do it. It's really not that hard. You've been selling yourself every single day and you don't know it. The first thing I said when I was offered the sales role as a promotion, and it was positioned as a promotion, even though I was doing everything that I already did, but more, was, well, I don't know how to sell. I don't know the first thing about sales. I've never been trained in sales. I've never done this before. And my boss at the time said, you sell every day. And I was like, what do you mean? It's like, I mean, you're here. You sold us on the fact that you could do this job. You sold us on the fact that you could continue to grow this business by, whether you know it or not, continuing to come into the office every single day with positive attitude on how you can help, always leaving with the first thing or the last thing you say is there anything I can help anyone with before I leave? You sell us. You sell us every single day on your value being here. So I'm sure you all do too. And that's it from me.
So I hope you enjoyed that presentation and that gave you some great information. I'd love to hear from you. Just go ahead in the Q&A on any of the platforms where you listen to your podcast, or send us a DM or comment on the post for this podcast episode. Send us your questions. I'd love to know what more you'd like to know about this topic. I hope you've enjoyed hearing about my journey into sponsorships. I'm just getting started. And so I hope this has brought you value, and I look forward to hearing how you are using this information to support your business venture, podcast, or event. Talk to you soon.